I want to demonstrate a few things about a spreadsheet program. It's called Microsoft Excel, and it has that green icon. You'll find it on your taskbar, hopefully. So you click on it, and this is what you see. Now these little spots are called cells. So that would be called B number 8 would be that cell, and A number 1, and everything is a bit on the small side, so you could click your left mouse button and drag your mouse down and across the screen as far as you want, and make things a bit larger by clicking this down arrow. Pick a larger number like 16, and you can see the fonts are that much larger. You can choose boldface, then you see that, and on where it says font you can choose Arial black, then it's really dark and quite large, and the cells are that much larger. But if you tried to type a word in like Dombrowski, it wouldn't fit in that one cell very well. So you can actually click your mouse right between the two columns and drag the mouse to the right, the cursor, where you see those double arrows at the top between the columns. That allows you to make the columns larger or smaller. So that I just made column F quite small. So what else can we do? We could type a few two-digit numbers, and then later on I'll show you how to find the sum of those numbers. So right now you could also click your mouse and go up to this little paint can, and you could paint that cell yellow. So now you see that it's yellow. Or you could highlight all these cells and paint them, say, a nice light green color, and that's fine. And the same with the numbers. You can click that little arrow beside the paint can, choose whatever color you think would be a nice one. So that's a few things. Now I'm going to go to sheet number 2, and you see I have a bunch of names and phone numbers. I have the first name, last name, and phone number, but everything's squished together. So I'd like to make these columns larger or wider. So I click my mouse between the columns and drag to the right, and then the first name, they fit in the columns. The same with the second column. I would move my mouse till I see that double arrow, hold my left key down and drag to the right. So now I still need to go a bit wider to accommodate the last names, and then the same with the phone numbers. I want them to fit in nicely. Now all these words are dark, boldface, and probably Arial black, except for the first row. So I could click my mouse and drag it to the right, and then I go up and click the B for boldface, go back to 16 like, and I could also choose Arial black, and then that'll be just as dark as the rest of it. But again, my column's not quite wide enough, so I have to drag to the right. And the same with the phone number. I want everything to fit nicely. So that's now there's one more thing that I can do, which is quite handy. I can click my mouse on the first name and drag my cursor down and over to the bottom right column, and while that's highlighted, I can put these names in alphabetical order. I see A is down at the bottom and it should be at the top. So it's called sorting. So I want to find the sort thing is you have to click data, and then sort. And then you can sort the names by first name or by last name. In other words, you sort by column A or you sort by column B. I'll pick first names and I want them in ascending order, so I put a dot beside ascending. I click OK and watch the names in the first column. They're all in alphabetical order from A to D. If I add another name, let's say Brown, and first name Tom, and phone number 467-9087, and I screwed up on typing Brown. I typed a V instead of an N, so you can't change it in line number 15. If you want to change that, or you have to go up to the top where it says Brown up here. That's the only place. Then you can backspace out the V and put an N instead, and then you can just click your mouse anywhere. Oh yeah, now notice I lost the border on the last row, so if I want the border, I have to highlight that row and I click Format Cells, and where it says border, I click on border, and then I see the border's missing at the bottom, so I click this little box and that puts a border at the bottom, and now all the cells have borders on them. So that's kind of nice. Now if I wanted the last names in alphabetical order, I would highlight, drag, click my left mouse button and drag, hold it. I'm holding down my left mouse button and I'm dragging my mouse across the whole chart. That's so that the phone numbers will go along with the names. Otherwise, if I only highlighted the first part, the phone numbers would stay exactly the way they are. They wouldn't match the names anymore. So I have to make sure I highlight the whole chart, but not the first line, because I want to leave that at the top. Now I click data and sort, and this time I want to sort by last name. So, and I want ascending order. I click OK and watch the last names went from Bell down to Triciner, so they're all in alphabetical order. So that's for sorting. And then I'll go to sheet 3, and I have some numbers, but they're kind of small and they're not boldface, so I click my mouse in the top left cell and I drag down and across the screen, and I click boldface for boldface, and I pick a bit larger number like 14. And now the numbers are quite large, and I usually pick Arial black on top of all that. But my first column is a little narrow, so I click my mouse right between the columns and drag to the right just far enough so that the words fit in the columns. Now I want to tell you how to add up these numbers, and it's a little tricky, but you click your mouse in the cell where you want the total amount, and you go up to the top where it says function F, fx says that's a function. So you click that little thing, and then it gives you a bunch of options like sum, average, count, maximum, and so on. So I want the sum is right at the top. It's highlighted, so I click OK. Now the computer it may or may not know what numbers I want to add up. In this case, it tells me it's going to add up the numbers from B1 right up here to B10. But now I've lost that and it just says B10 over here. So the way to fix that is to click my left mouse button and drag my cursor down across all the numbers, but not too far because I don't want to include the cell. I don't want to include B11. I want to stop at B10, and then it says it's going to add the numbers from B1 up to B10, so that's what I want. I click OK, and there's my total, 693. Now, if I didn't have enough rows, I can click in line 10 and drag my mouse down, and I can click insert at the top, insert some more rows. So it inserted 3 rows because I highlighted three rows.